Welcome to my YouTube channel Namrata's Tutorials. Hope you all are safe at home and doing well. It's sad that we all are facing the problem of coronavirus, which is causing a pandemic. But that really gave me a motto to share my information and knowledge with all of you. So as we say, studying and learning can never be stopped. So it's my privilege to enlighten you all in some upcoming fields or in upcoming topics. So be at home, be safe and learn through Namrata's tutorials. Being in the field of biology and working as a biologist, it's my privilege to enlighten you all in some of the interesting topics which we are coming across. So friends, let's begin and enjoy learning. What we are going to understand in our today's video is about herd immunity. So why exactly are we going to understand about the herd immunity? As you can see, there is a question which speaks about herd immunity related to coronavirus pandemic, or there is herd immunity or lockdown, or there are different countries which are again using the strategy of herd immunity. So what exactly does the term herd immunity mean? Or how exactly is it relevant to deal with the pandemic? So what is immunity? As you can see in the image, you have certain pathogens which are been depicted in the form of cartoon, or you have your cells which are going to fight against the pathogen. So in general, every organism has its own state of resistance which helps them to protect against the pathogens which could be bacteria or viruses. But then this is not an individual immunity what we are speaking about. Today we are going to discuss about the immunity which is conferred by a group of population. What is meant by herd? So as we can see in the image, it is nothing but a group or a term which is used to depict a group of certain animals of the same species, either wild or domestic. So in with respect to the herd immunity, what we are going to speak about is nothing but a herd or a group of human beings, how they are going to confer the immunity to the entire remaining population. So what's different in herd immunity? Let us understand with a very simple and a beautiful graphics that has been presented. So in the given graphics, you can see an individual who has been infected, shown in red color, and there is a group of individuals who are surrounding that individual to prevent the spread of the organism. They are shielding the infected individual and not allowing the spread to take place to the remaining vulnerable population. So this immunity is conferred because of the presence of certain group of individuals in a given population who are maintaining the immunity. So it's also been called as social immunity or population immunity. But how does it really work in pandemic or in real conditions? So let us take a very simple animation to understand all about it. So as you can see, there are a group of individuals who are depicting an affected population. If there is an entry of a pathogen in a given population and it causes infection, there are chances the infected individual will spread the disease to his or her close proximal individuals. So as you can see in the given image, you have an individual who has been infected and spreading the infection to the next close proximal individuals. The chances are there then infected individuals will further spread the infection to his or her proximal vicinity. So in a given population, the spread may continue and eventually it may happen that the population will have the pandemic or the epidemic for the given condition. Now, how exactly will the given population develop herd immunity is what we need to understand. How the spread will take place and how the individuals will develop herd immunity. So there is a very important term which is called as R-naught. It represents basic reproduction number. So what is meant by R-naught value? So as you can see, R-naught tells you the average number of people who will contract a contagious disease from one person with that disease. So as you can remember in the previous slide, you saw first individual spreading the disease to the next two individuals and the next individual spreading it to the further next individuals. So it specifically applies to a population of people who are previously free of infection and haven't been vaccinated. So there is a very important value which we need to remember for R-naught, which plays a significant role in understanding the pandemic. So if the R-naught for a given disease or a given pathogen is going to be less than 1 or greater than 1, what does it exactly simplify? So you have certain examples which have been shown. For example, measles, mumps, HIV, Ebola, etc. So if you see, the image shows the R-naught value for hepatitis 2 being just 2, or for mumps it has been predicted and it has been studied and found out to be 10, whereas for measles it has been found out to be 18. So a single individual in the population has the capacity or the ability to spread the infection to 18 individuals in his or her vicinity. So what exactly is the significance of R-naught value? Is if the R-naught value is less than 1, that means the disease will decline and eventually die out as the infection rate or the spread of the infection is less. If the R-naught value is equal to 1, it may happen that the infection will spread. It will be alive and stable among the population, but it eventually won't result into outbreak or epidemic. But the more concerning diseases are the ones which have a R-naught value that is more than 1. So currently we all are facing with the disease of COVID-19, which has the R-naught value that is more than 1. So the disease will be transmitted between people and there may be an outbreak or epidemic. So this is some values which are been taken from emerging infectious diseases. The R-naught value for COVID-19 was been found out to be 2.2 to 2.7 in the earlier studies, but however, at present it has been estimated to be 5.7. So on an average, an individual who is infected or is positive for coronavirus may in turn infect 5 to 6 individuals in his or her affinity. So here comes the very interesting part to understand how herd immunity plays an important role. So if you can see, there are individuals in the given population who have been infected by the infection or the pathogen. Now, there are chances they may develop natural immunity against the organism and be safe from further infection. But the question arises, will natural immunity be feasible for all the individuals in the given population? As new organisms are being developed or they are getting mutated, the resistance against these new organisms is yet to be studied. The same problem is what we are facing with respect to the new COVID-19. So, how herd immunity plays an important role. Individuals who have developed immunity against the organism act as barriers and they do not allow the spread of the disease to the remaining vulnerable population. So in the image, as you can see, the individuals who have developed immunity against the organism will not allow the spread of the bacteria or the virus further to the non-infected or to the susceptible population. So this immunity which develops is what is been called as herd immunity. But then how many number of individuals in a given population needs to be immunized or need to develop natural immunity to protect the remaining population? So there is a very important value which is called as threshold herd immunity. So in a given population, selected number of individuals or percentage of individuals need to develop immune response or need to develop immunity against the disease so that the remaining susceptible population remains protected. So there are some values which are been already studied and already been established for the existing diseases like rubella, measles, smallpox, etc. So if you see R-naught for the given disease is 4 to 7, 5 to 7 or 12 to 17 for different diseases. And depending on the R-naught values, we also can find out what has been called as threshold herd immunity. So for a given population to develop immunity against a particular pathogen, for example, measles, minimum 83 to 94% of the population needs to be protected or needs to develop the immunity. But it's not so very easy to develop natural immunity for the entire population. So how can the natural population develop immunity against the organism to maintain herd immunity? The best and the easiest to attain threshold herd immunity is by making use of the vaccines that are being developed. So if in a given population, a threshold number of individuals are being vaccinated, it would help in developing herd immunity to fight against the different organisms. So threshold herd immunity is something which plays an important role to control epidemics as well as pandemics. So hoping best to develop the vaccine for COVID-19 at its earliest, we all can have the concept of herd immunity to actually play an important role.
So if you have liked my video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel Namrata's Tutorials and hit the bell icon to receive further updates. Stay home, stay safe, be tuned.